77 volunteer farmer leaders show up to make sure that it's farmer-led, farmer-funded, and farmer-directed.
Hello and welcome to this edition of the State of Soy. I'm Aaron Putsey. We're in Ankeny outside the Iowa Soybean Association office, and I'm visiting with Lucas Lentsch. Lucas serves as the CEO of the United Soybean Board. And Lucas, it's a role that you've been in now going on 7 months. How's it been?
You know, first and foremost, it's been fantastic. It's really a dream come true to work for America's soybean farmers. And if you think about it, they hire a CEO, but at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about American agriculture and the success of our farmers.
Give viewers of the State of Soy a little bit of your background, a quick bio sketch.
You know, from a family farm in South Dakota, grew up in the dairy cattle business, worked in food and agriculture for the better part of 10 years, shifted into ag advocacy, ag policy in the state of South Dakota, served as Secretary of Ag in the Department of Agriculture, then transitioned into checkoff about 8 years ago, CEO of Midwest Dairy, and then part of the leadership team at Dairy Management Incorporated, which was the national dairy checkoff before coming in to the soybean space.
You've been visiting with farmers, really committed to getting to each of your USB directors. Of course, you're here in Ankeny to visit with the Iowa Soybean Association Board of Directors. What's been something that has maybe surprised you thus far in your time with USB in this role?
Well, you know, when you're coming into a role, you know, you work for a board. There's 77 volunteer leaders from across 31 states. And you think you get to know them one-on-one in a board meeting, but that's not where the truth happens. At the end of the day, Aaron, if you've been on one farm, you've just been on one farm. Between the soil types, the farming practices, they may plant a seed and they may harvest it, but everything in between is negotiable in their approach. And I just can't tell you how impressed I've been making the farm visits. Made it so far to 44 farms out of 77.
What is the issue in play or an example that you believe holds really some untapped potential for the increased production or perhaps sale of U.S. soybeans?
Hands down, I mean, even right here in the state of Iowa, we know energy independence. While we don't work on policy, we sure work on the research. And I think the untapped potential of the future is what cutting edge research should we be doing in terms of checkoff for the advancement of biofuels?
So speaking of checkoff, half of all of the collections here in Iowa go to the USB to help fund and implement the priority projects and programs that you undertake. What's your message to Iowa soybean farmers in terms of the stewardship of those resources?
Well, first off, thank you for your partnership. That partnership is essential because you handle that local and domestic advocacy for what happens here in Iowa and regionally and internationally, even through the state lens. We pick up the body of work of things that we can do at a more aggregate level, and you know, what is it domestically that we're working on, and even internationally, ensuring that there are markets in the future, you know, truly value in the supply chain for years to come waiting for our farmers, Iowa included. It is your board. You fund it. Every bushel of beans in the entire United States funds the United Soybean Board, and they hire me to manage it. And I couldn't be more pleased to be in this leadership role working on their behalf, especially with the leaders that serve as their representative body.
Last 5 or 6 months of this year, what will you be focused on?
You listen, you learn, and you discern, and then you activate. We are in activation mode right now. I'm very pleased to even most recently announce my management team that's working hand in glove with me. Thrilled with that, but we're also doing a paradigm shift in our model. Our business model of outsourcing to insourcing. We're bringing in a lot of work back into the office at a way that we've really never done before. And I think that's going to create an environment where every relationship is within one handshake of the boardroom. And I think farmers are going to like that. I believe in my heart of hearts, working for farmers, they fund it, they direct it, and they should be able to touch it. They should be able to see and identify and understand every bit of the work that they're funding and why. The only way I can really ensure that is to bring it in close.
Well, Lucas, thank you for spending some time on this issue of the State of Soy, and also for visiting our farmers and bringing it home here to Iowa and connecting with them. We're looking forward to working with you in your role with USB. Reporting for this episode of the State of Soy, I'm Aaron Putsey.
You know, everything starts with the land. We really respect farmers.
There's nothing that we cannot help a client with. The brokerage, the management, the appraisal, and the investment are four pillars that really go so well together.
We work with a lot of really great people working incredibly hard to provide for their families, their community, and the country.